it's Cecil, and it's Saturday, and we are back with a speed build. It has been a while since we've done one of these, about a month. But if you follow Little Simsie at all, then you will know that starting in the closer to the beginning of the month, she posted a new shell challenge to the Sims 4 gallery, and I have always enjoyed doing her shell challenges, so I decided I was gonna give this one a go. I did it on stream, which is the reason that I have to record my face to cover up some of my stream overlay stuff that you know would look a little out of place at 800% speed. For instance, my hand waving around in the corner. Um, Anyways, we had a lot of ideas going into this build, which was super exciting because sometimes I look at a shell and I can really only see like two things that it could possibly be, and I feel like I'm not as creative as other people when it comes to shell challenges. But this time around, I was feeling it. I had like a bunch of different ideas, so we actually ended up going to like a wheel spin generator, and we randomized what uh what kind of style build we were going to do. The randomizer landed on Art Deco, so we popped on the Art Deco filter for the build catalog because I'm not familiar enough with Art Deco to like truly trust myself to make those calls, but also um at least I had the help of my chat who slightly understands Art Deco as a build style more than I do. I knew there was a lot of like platform stacking that was going to need to happen, and I also wanted to do that in the back where I basically added some curvature since obviously you can't change the walls into curved walls. So I wanted to add some curvature in the places that I could add it to, and we ended up doing that with doing some platforming on the roof and whatnot that could give it those curves, as well as just like doors and windows that could have curves. And um it was just it was so much fun. We decided to go with sort of like a pastel vibe, but we also used like a lot of the woods, and we used some stone. We used some stuff from we used a lot of stuff from high school years in the pastel pop kit, obviously, but we also used like a pretty good deal of stuff from Realm of Magic. I wouldn't have really thought to consider the Realm of Magic stuff to be Art Deco, but also again, I'm not that familiar with Art Deco as a style, so it is 100% possible that I just wouldn't know. Um But yeah, no, it was definitely, I feel like it came out as a very interesting build. And as we were building it on stream, we were kind of like formulating a story for like the sim living here. And I decided that it is an aromantic, asexual spellcaster who basically loves hanging out with her friends and whatnot, and like also loves just like living in this very nice house that she worked for all on her own. I think she's also a freelance artist or possibly a fashion photographer. I feel like whatever she's doing, it's in the arts. She might do like painting as a side thing and sell her paintings on Plopsy, and then like be a fashion photographer for like her, more standardized freelance work. So that's kind of the vibe that we were going for. And I had so much fun building this. And I'm really happy with how it turned out. Like I cannot express how much I really enjoyed this build. And some of the choices that I made, I think were a little like not exactly strange, but they're not choices that I would have made for most builds. So it was it was exciting to try some new things. And I think that is like the fun part of a shell challenge is that because you don't have to worry about the shell, except for the part where you have to make sure you don't touch the shell, it really ends up giving you a lot of opportunities to play around and try new things. Um, and building on stream is also so much fun because you get input from the chat, and everybody has their take on how things should be and whatnot. and it was it was a good time. We do build on stream every now and then. We don't build all of the time, uh, but we do build like we do build every now and then. At least once a month, something is getting built. I know that just yesterday on stream, we ended up building my not so berry gray gen sim. We built him a brand new house because we're starting the next generation of not so berry. I will be posting a speed build for that next Saturday. I believe that's where I have it on my schedule. But the stream re-upload is probably already available on my second channel, which I can pop into the cards or whatever. Uh, but yeah, so we do build. I love collaborating with my viewers on the build. And especially since like sometimes I just don't know where I want to go with something. I have too many ideas. It's nice to have people share their ideas because if our ideas align in any ways, like we can narrow some stuff down. um Oh yeah. So because Simsie decided to put a couple of like walls in the middle of the shell, which you had to leave where they were and just work with. I painted them so that I would know this is Simsie's wall. Don't touch it. So that is what I'm doing there. But I actually surprisingly this time around, because she has done some internal walls that I've been like, what do I do with that? This time around, I actually felt pretty confident with the internal walls. They helped me put together the floor plan like quite a lot. And then some of like the outside almost but not quite bump outs I turned into like stacked bump outs. I don't know how I feel about that choice, to be honest. But I didn't know what else to do with it, because at first I was like, oh, I'll turn it into like a balcony, but then I was like, there's not like with the stairs being where the stairs are, there's not really going to be a way to get out there for it to make sense as a balcony. So I just kind of I decided which you'll see later in the build, but I decided I was just going to put like flower boxes or something there, which I think it looks okay. I just think that it also looks weird. And then in the bedroom, I am struggling with deciding where I want to put the ensuite bathroom, where I want to put like the sort of study. Do I want the study to be enterable from the hallway or just from the bedroom? And, making choices about the floor plan. But more or less, I think that it came together like pretty well. And then we actually ended up doing some really interesting platforming in the bedroom. I don't know if we're doing it now, if we're gonna do it in a little bit, but basically, with I end up putting like a dresser and a what do you call it? Fireplace. Wow. I ended up putting a dresser and a fireplace in there, and having that be slightly raised up, so I think that's pretty nice. And then since there wasn't room for a side table, I used that little rainbow shelf because it felt like it fit like the cutesy pastel vibe, and then like put a water bottle on there because a bitch has got to stay hydrated. But yeah, so we we definitely were experimenting with a lot of things that I normally would not be trying. So I think it ended up being a lot of fun, and it brought up a lot of creativity. And the reason we did the stacked platforming is because it just didn't it looked too empty and I didn't like it. And so I needed the floor to be just like more interesting because I also didn't like any of the runners in that room. Um, but yeah, so that's how that one came about. And I wanted to put like a little sit and chat area. Like if she has her friends over, some people can be sitting on the bed and hanging out, some people can be sitting there, just like vibes. And yeah, that is a little bit more like teenagey, I guess. But like big girls got friends too, Like what why as a grown woman would she not want to hang out with her besties? And why could some of that hanging out not happen in the room? There is also a living room. I'm almost certain. Like I'm pretty sure we were able to fit one. But so yeah, I keep moving things around and trying to decide where I want everything to be, but I think that the layout that I chose ended up being like the best for the space. It allowed us to put like things in there in the way that made the most amount of sense. And oh, we built this before the bathroom clutter kit was out, which means that some of the things I probably actually would have used from that kit because I really like it. But you know, the regular clutter kit is also pretty good, which I definitely used. I feel like those two kits are going to be the two kits that I use in literally everything because I always want more clutter in my builds. So having more clutter is nice. I actually, speaking of the, oh yeah, I did a bar height table, which I'm actually really happy with that decision. I don't know why, but the bar height table just hits really hard. I'm like, yes, that's her. um, I digress. So when the bathroom kit was like first announced, I was like, I don't know, don't we already like have bathroom clutter? But then I saw the items and I was like, we don't have bathroom clutter like that. I think what I like the most about the pack is that first of all, it added a lot of stuff that's kind of like kid friendly, which is like really nice. We don't actually have like there's that one tub from like tub shower combo from I want to say Parenthood, and it has like some swatches of the shower curtain that are definitely more like kiddish themed, but it's not like distinctly kids bathroom stuff, you know? There's some stuff like there's a void critter towel set and electric toothbrush. Okay, they added two more toothbrush options. We have been working with one singular toothbrush option for the entirety of The Sims 4. So having more variety there definitely was exciting. There were towels, there were some rugs, and oh my gosh, speaking of the rugs, you know what really sold me, and this is probably ridiculous, but it's the truth. There is one of the rugs that they added to the game. It has like the little dip so that it specifically slots in front of the toilet, you know, like in real life. We have gone 9 years in The Sims 4 at this point with no specialized toilet rug. I've been using the Happy Toes bath mat or whatever, and I'm like, this just isn't the same. This isn't what I'm looking for. So yeah, they finally added that, and that really that really sold me on the pack because I've wanted one of those for a really long time. But again, I also really love just like the items. I love that there's full toothpaste and then like an almost empty toothpaste. I love that the towels that they added had like a nice pristine version and a used towel version. I think that makes the house look so lived in, and I think that's so good. Like I love the variety of this looks brand new, this looks used that they offered because it just I feel like that's something that we need more of when they add clutter items. Things that look used, things that look like clean and brand new, just variety. They also added another shower caddy, which is nice because again, that's one of those things that we've really only had one of. So it was nice. It was nice to have more. But again, that stuff isn't even in this build, so I'm just talking about it because I liked it. Um, Also, a little bit earlier, you might have seen that I split leveled the kitchen as well. I had it go down a little bit. And when I did that, the one thing is that the breakfast bar or whatever, like the counter island area, it goes right up to the edge of that, and then the bar stools are like they still slotted to it, but they're kind of clipped into the floor. I did not play test it. I don't know how well that'll work. Um, but it looks okay. So like I'm sure it'll be fine. I don't know, because it's slotted, I'm like, maybe they'll be able to use it. I mean, platforms are glitchy. So they could either glitch against us or glitch in our favor. Um, we'll just have to find out, I guess. Uh, I don't know. Maybe I'll play in it sometime and give it a go. But honestly, it looks okay, and that's the most important part. Oh yeah, so for the little like single square bump out that's in what I ended up making the back of the house, I made that area into like a little laundry room because I felt like the washer dryer could stack really nicely there. And then, having a nice designated storage laundry room is just I feel like a lot of houses have that, and yet I usually just squeeze the washer dryer into my Sims like bathroom somewhere. So it's always nice when you can squeeze in a little one. But then I also have a downstairs bathroom, and that's kind of like the guest bathroom for like if friends stay over, they sleep on the couch, they need to shower or whatever. Bathroom. Um yeah, so that's that's that. And then over here I kind of fashioned a bit of an entryway with like a place to put your coat and a place to put your shoes and that kind of thing. I wanted to make it look nice and cluttered of like yeah, lots of shoes because I feel like, if you live by yourself and you've got such a snazzy place, maybe you really like I don't know. I don't know. I have a lot of shoes. I don't wear a lot of shoes because I can't stand the texture of most things at this point in my life. But yeah, so we're nearing some of the finishing touches. I think we are about to start working on the outside a little bit, but I could be wrong. We will have to see, but I definitely. Oh no, wait. We're going back inside. All right, never mind. We're working on the study. So, like I said, I kind of imagine this sim to be a sort of like freelance photographer and artist. So, I wanted to put in a sketch pad and I wanted to like make sure she had a nice computer set up. There was a lot of alt placing that went on because I wanted everything to like sit on the desk nicely and again, using the clutter. I also really like I think that's the bookcase that came with the pastel pop kit, I'm almost certain, and I really like it. I think it was a very nice touch to have in here. And then like I said, freelance photographer, I ended up going with some like photography style clutter, which I had to go looking for, but I really liked it, and we added like some camera clutter up there, and like I think some fashion magazines, which I'm imagining are like magazines that her photos have gotten put in, or like something like that. So that was kind of the vibe that we were going for, and I really like how it turned out. I also squeezed in a few plants in some of the places that, nothing else fit and was amazed, as I always am, by how weirdly sized all of the plants are and how they never seem to fit nicely anywhere. Alas, is what it is. I don't know if that's just like a me problem or if that's an everybody problem, but I I struggle greatly with placing plants in Sims builds, which I like to place plants, but if it's not something going on a table, I'm just like, what do I do? Oh yeah, I wanted to also put some shelving for her to put like whatever clutter on. You know how that how it goes, places to just like put stuff. But yeah, I also put the key holder thing from the pastel pop kit. So yeah, I really like how the house ended up turning out. I think that it kind of has simultaneously like a very trendy vibe while also having a few like almost retro vibes. I guess that's kind of the vibe of Art Deco as it is. Both being hyper modern and being like, I don't know. Does that make sense at all? Am I just out of touch with what is considered modern? Who's to say? Um, but yeah. Oh yeah, we got to use I really liked using the little like I love putting the aprons in my build. I feel like that was such a fun thing that they added to the game. It's just yeah, it's real nice. I like it. I also like that little like cooking shelf thing. And then oh my goodness, so the wallpaper is a wild time. I did so much. I did so many different things when I was like playing around with that and all of that. So yeah, the wallpaper is a very eclectic time, but it really felt like it cemented the vibe. So I'm content with my decision to make it be a little bit weird. You know what I mean? Like it was just it was fun. I really enjoyed it. But it looks like we're starting to get the finishing touches on the inside, which means that soon here we should be moving on to the outside. I know that I put like a pretty I think I put a pretty decent backyard, but to be honest, I don't remember. It's been almost 2 weeks since I built this, so I guess we will see. Oh yeah, putting some like paintings and putting some like I love that like mail clutter from City Living. I think that it's fun. um but yeah, finishing up the entryway a little bit, and yes, there we go. To the outdoors, putting some grill stuff out there and putting a cauldron out there because, like I said, I imagine a spellcaster lives here. And I decided to do like some fun hanging lights in the back. I thought that that could be really fun. I stand by that decision, I think. And then, of course, putting another bar sort of situation out there because, again, I imagine her hanging out with her friends, and I also feel like she recycles. So that's that's my whole reason for putting there. I'm just like, yeah, she recycles. And then because she is a spellcaster, I gave her a nice little garden area. I feel like she vibes with the bees, that kind of thing. um, the pool is nice and lit for the nighttime, and yeah, we're starting to come up to the end of the build. I think just a couple more finishing touches are going to be put there, and yeah. I think that it's a like as far as something being like super young adult focused as The Sims 4 tends to be, I feel like this kind of like expanded on it. I don't know. I feel like it was a reason, Like I specifically had someone who wanted to be child free, wanted to be single. The reason that her house is so banging and only sits one sim is because that's what she wants it to be. Oh yeah, I also decided to try and do something a little different with the landscaping than what I usually do. It ended up being pretty similar in style, just with like slightly different plants. But it looks a little overgrown, which I think is part of the appeal. I like overgrown looking gardens that are just like full of flowers. But yeah, and I made sure to get it all nice and lit with some post lights, and yeah, we are just about through it. That is the build. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys on Thursday for a Legacy Challenge episode. Thank you for watching, like, subscribe, all of that stuff, and yeah.